Okay, we're live.
Ah,
Let's
yeah.
let's first check Twitter, and let me also connect the official account. By the way, Alvin, should we start with the market? Because yesterday crypto has a small bull run, I would say. Like the pricing
Yep,
was really rallying yesterday.
yeah. So only like this within 2 days, but um made the best within the 2 months. Within in the past few months.
Correct. Uh, I mean, before we dive into the reasons of it, I guess like probably we can check for the pricing actions first. But let me first connect to my official account.
Okay.
Just 1 minute. Mm, 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 mm. Did you do it? Did you do any trades during the last 2 days?
Um so some of the spots
Spot for
after
real.
pick up at the low price is New Year. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I just saw a post talking about no need to do the right side trading in such a bearish market. I think,
correct.
yeah, I agree his viewpoint. And now we can see the price, the market is still very volatile. And when the BTC tried to break over a 72K, oh, even near 74K, but fell.
Mm,
But still, mm, not so bad because bounced back from 62K,
mm-hmm.
like in 1 week, in a week.
Let me pull out there a bit to see
That's a
what's going
16% bounce back from the
from the lowest point.
price. Yeah.
Mm. So this is today's like deribit data. Oh, I think mainly people are buying for the March this month's end calling. Like they are buying the long tail risk both for call and puts. Puts they put it around 60K and calls they put it around 12.5 thousand.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Uh, and I would say like we are officially probably in a crab market.
Right?
But now, think about it. If even if we say crab, like people are gonna think about open claw,
Yeah. Or even a lobster.
lobster. So all the
There are
animals are
so many
taken.
offline hackathons this week at Shenzhen or Hong Kong, these two
Mhm.
weeks.
I think there was also an open claw event in New York City. I didn't go. I have a couple friends who went there. Obviously, like people's enthusiasm in open cloud and AI is much higher than crypto stuffs.
Yeah, the market is still very boring, and we can see lots of central exchanges also um, uh, like rolling out their own skills or MCPs for integrating with our own agent or AI more easily than ever. Yeah,
Mm.
so I think it's a good thing. Yeah.
I think I think maybe every month we should also check the inflation rate. I was like trying to figure out, oh, is there any like real time data for inflation rate? Unfortunately, I didn't find it. But I think from now on, especially as the Iran war is still ongoing, we should continue to check the inflation rate. Like the
Yeah, it's
mo
also
all
very connected with
mm,
the people's expectation for the up and down of US dollar and
yeah.
commodities.
Yeah, I think like right now we still don't know where this direction will be going. Right, the U.S. government or Trump, uh, he is basically saying he is going to get the war under control within 3 to 4 weeks. But all the other like military news sources or official website, they're saying, oh, maybe this war gonna be prolonged to 8 to 16 weeks. And then I do think there's some kind of block of news from the Middle East area. So I don't think like people in either the western side or the eastern side are getting the most accurate news from Middle East. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
actually don't know. And then I also have set up an alarm for my Google Gemini. I say, oh, can you every day daily do an overall news search about oh what's happening in Iran? And then I ask them specifically to search like if they are attacking uh the water facility because I think the whole global, at least the Twitter timeline, people are talking about the core of this is like if Iran start to attack the water facility, which is super crucial for the GCC area, then this is like a challenge to the humanity and all the overall civilian survival around the GCC area. Because
Mm,
the
yeah,
the water utilization in those GCC area is 99% or 100% usually.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
There's so many like mutual friends uh moving out from no matter Dubai or Abu
mm,
Dhabi, all these regions. It's a more safe place these days.
mm.
And just
And
like you
then
say, I think not so many people like focus on anything, everything happening in all these regions. I think maybe it exists such a like information gap or something. And we all know that all the different kinds of assets, the correlation between different assets moving more quickly than ever.
yeah, wow, look at the crude oil price, Brent. And then I think like China has also emergently said they're gonna stop the exportation for oil last night.
Yes.
Because most of the countries are concerned about their oil reserve, right? If the Strait of Hormuz continue to limit the shipment, the passage of the boats, then it will be a huge problem because that they are basically managing like 20% of the overall world oil transportation. And
Yeah.
then on the other side, I think the Yemen is like they control the transportation from the Red Sea part. So both sides are blocked right now somehow. Uh, though I have seen like people have shown marine traffic data, which I was also checking. You know the website marine traffic, right?
Oh, I saw some people talking about this, but didn't see
So
the website. Oh,
I
marine
I
traffic.
I don't have the paid version, okay, but basically you can actually go to the part where you can see okay what are like if there are people the the ships like passing through like I believe if you pay like a you have a paid version for marine research you can actually see how the ships are moving across like different borders as well as whether there are ships moving across the Strait of Hormuz. Let me actually find a moving like a paid version
Okay.
so that you can take a look. Okay, here. But this data is from okay. Actually, marine traffic is doing their updates right now. So they are analyzing the Strait of Hormuz like flow. You guys see the ship of all those, like, but it's like very, very limited. Yeah. Comparing to say, I think like 2 days ago, there's another tweet. I would just like mark the comparison. Definitely the 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 number of the ships that are able to going through all are already are still there. You see, like this is uh February 28th. Oh, this is March 2nd. They send this tweet. And they say
Oh,
there's already like a 7% drop of the traffic flow there around the coast here. And then compare with like this is today, an hour ago, where they updated, right? This is 9:17 a.m. March 5th. Now it's like 10:21 a.m. Eastern time. And you see like how much less of a traffic compared to even just 3 days ago.
mhm,
Mm. And if we see like, oh, what's the current like, what are those ships? Those are you can also check the state for each of that. This is like an hour ago, okay. And then this is pretty much like some, I guess like local tanker. They just like anchored there.
mm,
Mm. Anyways, I feel like people should continue to monitor this information because this is significantly important for the crude oil pricing. But you guys also need to remember that like if Iran continued to block the traffic for crude oil, then this is against every single country in this world. So I don't think they want to do this for a really long time, right? Maybe they can do this for 1 to 2 more weeks, but both like I guess all of the country like United States, China will all pressure Iran to say, oh, you need to allow the crude oil ships to pass through.
yeah.
Otherwise, there will be like the oil crisis around the globe. Mm. I I think there are just like so many chats about this war on the timeline. Um, I mean, we don't have further or we don't have more information about like or what's the real time data for the war is, but one thing is pretty sure is like the longer the war is, like the cost to the United States is also gonna be much higher because people talk about like Iran using those low cost. How do you say those in English? Low cost weapons, which is like self. There's nobody in the airplane, but it's
Wrong?
like basically machine control. Yeah, the drones, which is usually cost around like 50K, and they were using those to attack, uh, say different buildings or different basic facilities around the GCC area, and then for the US to block those drones every single time the system to block it, it will cost like 500K or 1 million. So the longer they drag the war, the more costly it's gonna be. And this cost all of those military costs wouldn't be coming from nowhere. US is already in a very bad economic situation. The government is already having a very huge debt. Uh, so I I also I do think like President Trump he wants to like I guess like find a resolution or he want to finish this war like as soon as possible. But it's it's just like very asymmetric cost of war right now, and then very highly likely they will send the troops on the ground to Iran.
Mm.
Did they already, or I think like it's a high likely if they haven't done so yet.
Yeah, that also makes people wondering what's the true reasons behind the war. um, by Trump this time. Yeah, maybe just like an inner bribe from different political power,
Mm.
because um,
I think the mainly the three countries that are engaging in the current war is all very obviously Israel, Iran, and United States, right? And then
yeah,
all the GCC countries, Dubai, um, not Dubai, UAE, Dubai is a city, UAE, and then all the other like surrounding countries, they were like, okay, please don't touch us, right? We are innocent. But then you see there are some like European countries, they start to say, oh, they're gonna start to support the United States to take over Iran. Um,
mm,
I do think with the more involvement from different countries, like across the globe, the more prolonged the war gonna be. And then with like more European countries like get involved in this war, if they really get involved, not just like saying on the news, right? If they really start to get involved and allowing like I guess United States to start to use their area of air to do military stuff, then I think from the eastern side, China and Russia may engage too. But the purpose
yes,
of our live stream here is not to you know be the be the expert to analyze like what's going on for the war. It's more like okay, we as the average user, what are we expecting from the economic side, right? No matter where you are living in this world, because all those commodity like crude oil, gold, silver, uh, even though you are say you're a daily user, you don't rely on the profits P&L from trading commodity because you're not a most people are not a commodity trader, right? But it's actually a very good anchor for the global price of like your standard living, like how much will it cost for you to live in a certain area. Mm,
yeah. I just think that the reason behind this war is very interesting. Many people talking about the like Saudi
mm,
Arabia and Israel,
mm.
um, like Saudi Arabia, Arabia invested in like 2 billion into Jared Kushner private equity fund, and he is Trump's son-in-law. And Israel funded Trump's political career through Maryland and Adelson. Yeah, so
What is mm.
he just say that if Trump run for a second term for president, um, Adelson says she will contribute
It will be
like
a third turn of it. It will
yeah,
be yeah.
oh, that's okay,
Mm.
ah, yeah, and like she's talking about the uh 250 million about this deal, and then people are wondering if a war could be used to delay elections.
Yes.
Trump will gain like emergency war powers and by secure third term.
Not only
And
Trump will get like emergency power, also Israel. Israel has been under emergency, so they also delay their election.
mm, yes, so that's maybe one of the reasons why
Mm,
they launched the war. It's worth discussing, but not so many people are aware of this.
mm, mm. I think like it's I guess we can't really go further down this route to or analyze what's going on those
Yeah,
parties because there are so many conspiracy ongoing on the timeline talking about like who is controlling different
yeah,
parties.
and we don't know the truth.
And there's no way we can verify okay whether this is true or
We are
not.
not the insiders, so
So I think probably it's like we if you guys are curious from let's say oh you curious from that perspective, maybe you can dig into the research. But let's for us it's more like think about all the possible outcomes and think about how we should deal with this, right? Um Me personally, I do think that very highly likely this war gonna be ongoing for a while. But if you look at like historically like similar was what when it happened. Okay, let me pull out my research that I was doing yesterday. I think historically there are probably three similar wars that happened in the Middle East side. Let me just pull it out. So first, the first war, like similar war that happened was like 1979 to 1988. It's like Iraq and Iran has like an over 8 years of war, and then they were basically essentially during those 8 years they continuously just were attacking each other's tanks, and then at that time, what happened in the United States is the inflation in the United States was increased about 14%. And then the SEC had Paul Volcker at that time. He raised the basic interest rate to 20% to
Wow.
combat the inflation. That's like 1979 to 1988. Okay, this was like 40 approximately 40 years ago. And essentially like what happened is like eventually the United States has to get send the marine troops there, and then and to basically say, oh, we're gonna guard the Kuwait uh oil ships to so that they can actually get through those straits, and then
Mm,
they also fight it against Iran. But that's like the second oil crisis, crude oil crisis in human history. And then another like similar war happened was like 1990 to 1991, where it was more of a quick war where like Saddam, you remember,
yeah.
he was invading Kuwait, and then he actually like fire up the oil, and then he even dumped the oil to the ocean there to pollute the water resources there. And then at that time, uh like the United States was just start to decrease their interest rate. So, but at that time, what the United States did is like they assembled many different countries troops, and then in a very quickly manner to basically win this war against Saddam. And then,
Mm,
but at the very beginning, when the war just broke out, uh, the oil was the crude oil was also like boosted, or the pricing was increased so much. And then, but on the day when the United States dropped the first bomb against them, then it just like went back to the pricing pre-war. So I think if anyone is interested in this, like you should check all the similar history, like historical events that happened maybe around in the Middle East side, and see like, okay, what will be the case this time. But I have to say this war is happening at a around a very interesting timeline for United States, for Israel, right? Given the reason we just talked about, like maybe the elections for both countries will be prolonged further.
mm, yeah. Just don't know like what Trump is going to do in the future. I think he can
Uh,
do anything.
like um, I mean, I do think uh going forward, the world order gonna be changed so much, and it will be volatile, right? We have to face the reality that like we are not in the peaceful time from say like 2020 to 2024, where everybody is just like trying to grow their economy, maintain the peaceful between, or minimize the tensions between different counterparties, between different political blocs. That period has kind of ended, and with
Pretending every party has a good connection with each other, but now yeah,
mm,
the
yeah,
um the reality is uh, every country just care themselves.
Correct. So if we stop pretending that's gonna like be the case and just embrace the volatility, like geopolitically as well as economically, uh, then I guess like let's all like get ready to both like mentally as well as like portfolio wise be prepared for the future.
Maybe that's why so many big institutions got into invested in new prediction markets since last year. I think that's
Mhm.
not a coincidence, right? Since Pony Market, Yoshi, like ICE, yeah, one of the
Mm,
big news tonight, ICE invested in OKX with 250 billion valuation.
mm.
That's the
Yes.
10x higher than their token right now. Their token is valued at 2.5 billion FTV right now.
Yeah, I think like okay. So if we pause the let's just take a look at the ICE news as well as the Kraken news. Because I think there are two big news happened yesterday and today. The first thing is that
Yoshi?
OKX ICE just
Yeah.
invested in OKX. Okay, I'm trying to share my screen here. You guys see my screen? And ICE is the parent company, or is the parent company of the NYSE. So that means like directly when ICE announced the huge investment, the strategic investment in OKX, then the partnership announcement is like OKX between OKX, ICE, and NYSE. And I feel like this is the one of the first major exchanges that were originated from the Eastern world, the Asia side, to have received such a large like investment
Yeah.
from ICE. So this
And
is a really big milestone.
mm, yeah, and we know that nearly all of the like top three, top five central exchanges are built by like Chinese founders, right?
Mm,
Binance, Bybit, OKX, PK, etc. So yeah, it's truly a big news. Um, Speaking of the traditional finance, uh, like that this kind of world is converging with uh, crypto, crypto
mm,
industry.
mm. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
also, another interesting thing is that they just also announced there is a officer. Let me see.
Yes, a U.S. officer appointed
Yeah,
to help them
US
to get
president.
regulated from the United States.
Yeah, and also from
Mm.
CFTC and DTCC. DTCC, they are well connected with Canton Network, right? So we all
Yes,
know that.
correct.
Yeah.
And
Also a big
then
news.
I think the Kraken have after so many years they are the first to be
Yeah,
granted the
finally,
Federal Reserve Master
finally.
account. This is I think this is big. This is just means like the the US like banking system, including the Federal Reserve, will be much more engaged in stablecoin payment rails and everything. So this is huge news for not only Kraken but also Circle USDC.
Yeah, and actually, I see work with Circle since last year. Yeah, they have a deal like integrate with USDC and USYC since last year. Yeah, so actually, change the speed of integration from traditional institutions is much faster than we expect.
Yep. Uh Yes, those I think those two news are unbelievable if you think it from your
Yeah.
angle, like when we were 2023 or 2024. But now it just happened, and
Yes,
then
yes, yes.
but the weird thing is like we don't see the excitement from the timeline anymore. Of course, we see the excitement from the institutional account, right? Like Kraken or the big institutions, they were like congratulating each other. Uh, so
Yeah.
But those are truly
Um,
historical moment for crypto. And on the other side,
yes,
to be honest, I think like going back a little bit on the like increasing geopolitical conflicts, right? I think it's it's really the time where we need to think about, okay, what kind of role crypto is playing here, and what kind of role trust is playing here. We, of course, we know that all the geopolitical conflicts while segmenting all those like regions further, and then the adoption of no matter like payment technologies or whatever daily people are using within that region will be highly regulated, like specifically by that specific region. But then the regulation, it's impossible for the regulation to stop the flows of capital across the globe, because all those different LPs or capitals, they will always flow to the lowest friction point, first of all, and second is like they always want to seek the best like uh risk adjusted returns on that perspective. So, with that being said, as we see more political uh, conflicts ongoing in the world, is we will also see many big conglomerates to demonstrate their capability to serve as the trusting anchor in this world, to direct and to settle those flows across the globe, because money still needs to flow across different countries and still need to ba- uh, do investment, to do land and borrowing, to exchange, to transfer the risk, right? To be priced properly. So
yeah,
I do think this is a opportunity time.
yeah. Stripe is also moving fast. They are rolling out the crypto card. I saw maybe a news
Oh, another big
yesterday.
news is X is also
Oh, X money.
yes, X money. I
Yeah.
comment, I even commented on that tweet below. I'm like, if if I deposit money in X gonna give me SpaceX air job, I would deposit.
Yeah. Oh, I have a like awkward news to share. Because we have a um like the payment from X for the creator, right?
Yeah.
So last month I got not so much money, but I need to pay like 10% of the fees and go to the bank in person to receive the payment from X. So I think traditional finance still sucks. Still the
Oh,
same.
so you need to go to the local bank in Taiwan to pay the fee.
Yeah, I need to yeah go to the one of the branch in person to receive the payment from X.
Yeah.
And the fees charged is like 10% of the payment.
Alvin, if I have to be honest, I do think like when you work in crypto, or when you like a very high tech persons versus like when you have to, like, I almost feel like we are living in two parallel world. One world is like the world we are very familiar every day. It's like, well, we trade, where we find DeFi opportunities, where we continues to follow the changes in this world. The other world is like your daily life, right? You go to the gym, you go to grocery store, you go to postal office, wait 30 minutes, 40 minutes in line. Those inefficiency is just it's just like too big of a contrast in your daily life.
Yes. We are jumping from world A to world B all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I think like, just selfishly speaking, right? I will be very delightful and happy and honored to spend time with my like friends, family, people that I enjoy time spending with, like to grab a drink, to walk in the park, to chat about anything. But I am so impatient with all the like waiting the line or doing chores. I feel like those kind of frictions, if we can reduce it to, we can minimize it like that, that will be really great.
Yeah.
And
True.
those kind of interactions is uh, is really tiring. Yeah. Like, if things are running smoothly, right? If say, oh, you don't have any problem, you just like ship out your things or do your chores like in a normal way, it's great. But once there's some issues, say there's a mislabeling of your shipment, there's a mis calculated or misinformation that's entered in the very old system in like banking, then you need to wait days and hours for them to correct it. Layers and layers
Yeah.
of approval. And you say, hey, can you actually put me into your manager so that we can solve this problem? And then they put you through their manager and they're still not solving the problem. I'm like, oh. But I guess like I'm optimistic because with all the AI agents like infra being built, prepaid credit card for AI agents like ongoing. Circle is working on NanoPay. I do think those like entry level stuffs will be replaced as well as be optimized to a faster resolution
Yeah.
results.
I need to equip their skills better with more
Uh,
skills. Speaking of the X, there is an interesting bet on the market.
what is it?
Elon Musk will be a trillionaire before 2027, and the percentage from 14% to 70 in 2 months, 3 months. Only like lower than 20% in last December, but now we have 70%. Yeah. So
71.
market 71. Yeah. And the
Mm,
highest maybe like nearly 80.
mm,
Interesting one.
mm. If you really think about the X money function that Elon gonna launch, he's basically doing what he has done before PayPal. Right?
Yeah, and actually he's beating these um certificate for the payment for the 3 years, right? Already for 3 years
Mm. And then
since
the
since they
rumor is
acquired
that like, mm,
Twitter.
yeah, rumor is that like they will be working with Solana on this for the X money.
Oh, probably.
Don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just saying.
think they do have a alliance behind this. Since they ban Kaido and push their own creator program, I think they have a good connection with Solana ecosystem somehow. Because we all know that nearly 90% of the top figures on Kaido are all EVM related KOLs and founders.
Mm.
So I think that ban um there's restriction about Kaido and this kind of API is the competition between non-EVM and EVM. So it's not simple as we see on timeline.
You
Maybe
mean what? What do you mean?
like X doing this to protect the Solana ecosystem
Oh,
to some extent.
you mean the X algorithm will also put more ways non EVM KOLs so that like their message will be amplified.
Yes. And actually one of the co-founders from XAI also like say something good about uh the I forget the programming language of Solana.
Mm.
Oh,
You
Rust.
mean
Yeah, he say Rust to some extent has some advantages over Solidity because when the AI adoption rate uh, is getting higher in the future. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
mm, I think we have already seen enough tech technical debates on Twitter timeline. From layer one to layer two, from Ross to Solidity, from like move to like so many different things, right? We argue historically.
Yep.
Um and I think eventually people realize like it's like technology matters for maybe I think technology matters because when we invented blockchain, right, as the irreversible database, the on-chain ledger, that really matters. But in terms of like how the technology gonna get the adoption, it's always gonna be coming back to the the trusting nodes, the distribution channels. So you will need both, right? You will need a very and I was literally discussing this with a friend last night, like because he literally asked me, what do you think is more important? Is it the trusting nodes, the trust between the relationships, or the system? And I said, you what you really need here is both. It's like you need the trusting nodes, no matter the an institution, a company, an individual to smooth out the the frictions between different parties, like when you work on a business deal, right, to sort the partnership details out. But on the other side, like when it comes to execution, when you have the business terms defined, right, how do you ensure, okay, the business terms will be implemented and executed based on your agreement is actually like being realized by technology. Because maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, without blockchain, right, the execution is still very dependent on like mo- monitoring from human beings, right? You of course you have like monitoring system where you say, oh, they are not making frauds in the data, they are reporting accurate data. But right now with all those like zktls technology zk technology like emerging, then we literally have better technical tools to help us to real time monitor and to verify, okay, every single counterparty that are involved in this specific business deal is not lying, right? And then we can even slash them automatically. Say we put a reserve of money on chain, and then the those money will just be moved or transferred based on the algo, the smart contract that we preset. So I think this does help to help with the execution of the trust and binding the business terms better. But to establish the initial like business terms, yes, you still need the individuals, institutions who are very good at like the dynamics of game theory to put it together. So my short answer to that question was like I think you need both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Mm. Agree.
But but okay. So okay. While we are speaking, let's take a look at the markets to see if anything changes. We haven't checked the pricing for Bitcoin yet. Oh, and we also haven't talked about the stock price in uh South Korea,
Oh, let see.
right?
Yeah. Actually, I know that no matter Taiwan and Korea, the stock market it bounced back quickly after the dump 2 days ago. But now maybe,
Oh, let me go to trading view. Okay. I Alvin, the reality is that like now that we are checking so many markets across the globe, like we need to check so many tools.
oh, hard, so difficult. Yeah,
Not
we need an all-in-one. We need an all-in-one dashboard.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there is. It's just like we have not. I'm not starting using it.
Yep.
I'm pulling it out. You guys can
Oh,
see.
the
I think like so the highest point for the EWY, this is a South Korea ETF, right? It's like 150, but then it has a huge drop like 2 days ago, dropped to one 125, and then yesterday it had a, should I call it that cap bounce to 140?
maybe, yeah. Now we see the
Like
oil,
they kick off the
the
day
crude.
like 140 highest, and then
Yeah,
they ended there, right? 120, and then today it's just like
yeah.
okay,
The
and
price of the crude
then
oil is still increasing, or still it's still popping up right now. So the price of the stocks may not going so well in the
yeah.
coming days. So
Why does it not have? Okay, let me pull the volume thing out. Sure. Okay, now we have it. Yeah, there was huge volume during those 2 days. It's like a expedited dump, right? If you look at the volume, it's like more than 3 times of the average volume of those,
oh yes,
like each day. And today it's like, yeah, I think that we can call it. This is a that cat bounce, and but we can only confirm maybe tomorrow. Let's say when it drop further.
yeah. And we are getting to the holidays again. So
I mean, I'm not going to do more technical analysis, but let's continue to monitor the situation. And this disclaimer: I don't have any position in EWY. Right? We're just like talking about it as a purpose of like okay, talking about global markets.
yes, in general.
Mm. And so overall sentiment, I feel very complicated, Albert. And every day, like I have been going to NYU for speaking events, right? For I think this month itself, I have already did like 2 or 3 speaking events at NYU. And surprisingly, every single time when I go there will be say 40 to 50 people attending the event. And then after I give the talk, like there will be people they will be lining up and then say they will ask me, they will tell me, "Hey, Maida, I'm from traditional finance. I'm working at this bank, that bank."
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
interested in what they are asking right now.
they
What
are
kind of
asking
questions
me,
they are asking.
okay,
You know,
okay,
it's
there
totally
are like
different
several
from
trends.
many years ago, right?
They are asking me how they can get into crypto and how their business
Oh,
line can be combined with blockchain technology. So even though the crypto Degen users are kind of like desperate in a way, right? But traditional finance people they have such a high interest in entering the industry. And all of them have been asking me is how do they enter? And they ask me how do I start my own company in crypto? How do I jump from my like data science career
okay.
to crypto? Hi, it's not because we don't have chat interaction. It's just like I was very engaged of like my topic, but we will go through your
What
question.
grades are they are in mostly? What grades are they? Like
What
year four,
grades?
year three,
So
semester?
there are some like undergraduate student, but there are also like graduate student who already work or are still working. It's a mixture of audience. It's not just student. It's also like people who
Oh,
already work for many years.
oh, I see, I
And
see.
then
Oh,
there's
that's a
also people.
way more complicated than simply a college speech.
It is. And then they
Mm.
will I think like some of them they will ask for career advice, right? Because for those undergraduate students, they they are going to graduate soon and they are about to enter the hottest job market ever.
Yeah.
so so
Wow.
they're like, oh, how do I get into crypto? Or there will be people who are have already been working for several years and they are seeing the blockchain technology of crypto has been over the timeline everywhere, but say in their traditional finance company the adoption is happening so slowly. For example, I think like so many companies they talk about, oh, they're gonna build the in-house technology for their stablecoin, for their payment rails starting maybe like 10, 15 years ago, but still there's nothing pushed out.
Yeah.
And that I think like for some of the companies because of geopolitical reasons or political reasons, even though they already have it ready, they will pause it immediately. Like, okay, we are not doing this. But for the chats, right? Ask what is a good altcoin to get right now. I mean, generally speaking, me and Alvin, we don't give like financial advice, especially for altcoin.
We won't
We
recommend anything except like major coins right now
Yeah,
for
correct.
your
It's a
safety.
and yeah, for your safety. And on the other side, we have always been saying, I think like around like 60K to 70K for Bitcoin, it was like a good time to DCA, right? But I am concerned because say next day or 2 3 days later, if Iran or the situation between Iran, Israel, and the United States escalated, we may see more further like drop in the pricing, like a quick crash. Who knows? There's a possibility of that, and I don't know if you want to, you know, get in right now before we have a further confirmation on the situation. Like, yeah, I think it's better to save money than lose majority of your money. Mm. On the other side, like one question I've been thinking about is like so many people, right now everyone have access to certain AI in this world. So everyone is using AI to analyze the technical charts of different assets. Everyone is like trying to use AI to help them with their investment. What what edge are we do we really have as human being? Because for all those trading companies or hedge funds, they have more AI computing sources. They have faster fibers to execute the trades, right? They even also have maybe more insider information than you. They have better risk management system to execute the trades. The real edge we may have is our patience and time. What does that
Yes,
mean is
yes.
like most of the hedge funds or the trading teams, portfolio managers, they are still accountable, and their LPs will say, "Oh, what's your performance for the last 3 months, or what's your performance for this year?" Right? They need to work across that timeline. But for us, if if we are like fully manage our own money, then uh, I mean, I'm not just managing my own money, right? I'm responsible for the user funds. I'm saying like for every single one of us for our personal accounts, then what we really can do is like we be patient. We find the opportunities that will have the highest uh probability to generate profits and bet only on those opportunities instead of just like trying to ape into every single situation. So
Yeah.
my recommendation was like I think like maybe it's time for you to not to ask other people, oh, what are the altcoins to get in, because if you ask like 10 different bloggers, maybe five of them will tell them, oh, I don't give you financial advice, and then five of them maybe will give you like 10 different recommendations. Then what you gonna do, right? Are you going to like buy all those 10 different recommendations? And then,
Yeah.
I mean, even if they recommend it, they wouldn't tell you like, oh, what's the pricing point to enter, what's the pricing point to exit. So very highly likely you will still lose money.
Right.
Yeah.
That if retail investors can hold their position over over years, they will win most of the traders in the space for sure.
Uh, I mean, 99% of the traders they lose money anyways.
Ah, yes.
So it's uh okay. Good. I think like just back to we're almost at the 1 hour cut line. Back to what we were saying earlier about the assets. I'm deeply concerned about this war, and I think we should just continue to monitor before we do any like investment decisions.
Yeah.
What do you think, Owen? Should we talk a little bit about the AI stuffs?
AI stuff.
Mm,
Oh, there's a new announcement
mm. What is it?
from the Pentagon. Um, there's an update from the deal they have with Entropy.
Oh yes. Mm, correct.
Yeah, the dispute may be solved in the coming days. At first, um, the government say, "Oh, we should ban Entropy in the future," and the second step they say, "Oh, we have a like buffer 6 months buffer time with them." And in the end, the dispute is gonna be solved someday, one day.
Mm.
So I think it's worth to be happy to see these kind of things.
Who is happy?
People still have some hope in the world. Will be happy.
You mean for what direction?
Make people think. Not just like if everything is connected with politics and the government, the project will do the field, and this is kind of another chance for this kind of company. I think.
Mm, okay. I think I'm not going to comment on this.
Yeah, it's too complicated.
I'm not. um. Oh, but I think like probably like for this month, so there's like digital asset summit happening in New York City. So I will actually like go talk to more institutional traditional finance people to figure out the outlook.
Okay,
Oh, my allergy is so severe today. God.
I can feel.
Mm-mm.
Me too.
You too. Anyways, any closing thoughts before we close this live stream? Oh, but I just hope like
Um,
next Tuesday. I hope like there's no. I just hope like there's no more surprising news coming.
you mean what kind of surprising news?
I don't know what other black swan events may happen this year.
Hmm. But in general, the industry is moving in a good direction.
Mm.
Yeah, still have some good news, but maybe only like 10% of the whole.
Okay. Thank you guys for being with us today for another full hour of ranting, analyzing of the world economy, what's going on. Hopefully, like this episode are gonna at least help you to understand like how we are thinking about those different events happening. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to come to Twitter to find me and Alvin, um, and directly interact with us on Twitter. Like those Twitter is definitely like both of our most active channels where like we will definitely like check the comments sections for our tweets every single day.
Yep.
And we shall see you guys next Tuesday.
See you guys. Bye bye.
Have a great weekend. Bye.